Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. My name is Esther. Today we are going to talk about conflict, and as usual I have my facilitator with me, so she's going to take us through. She's going to introduce herself and then take us through to the rest of the topic. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much, Esther.
You're welcome.
Happy to be here today with you and with our guest. Welcome, our guest. My name is Kezia. I'm here again. As we agreed, we shall be meeting after some time. We're going to talk about conflict. We want to understand conflict better and understand the types of conflict that are there. Conflict is a disagreement between two people or different groups of people. And as usual, for us to understand conflict, it's very important for us to understand that conflict or differences between people or between groups of people come about because of the different temperaments that we have, and these temperaments bring into this conflict. Because when you find someone who is calm and someone who is so talkative, as they are communicating, as they are talking, you'll find that the calm person wants to be given their space, and the one who is so talkative wants someone to listen to them, wants someone to be there with them. So if we understand the different temperaments that we have, it will be easy for us to understand why conflict comes around. We have 4 different types of temperaments. There are people who we call the sanguines, there are people who we call the phlegmatics, there are people who we call the cholerics, and these people, they react differently to situations, they see things differently, their perceptions are different. So because of these temperaments, that is why we always have conflict, or that is why we always have disagreements. And I'm going to talk about 3 types or 4 types of conflict. The first one is interpersonal conflict. Interpersonal conflict is the conflict that happens between individuals, between you as a person and another person. Interpersonal, between you and another person. For example, if we disagree on something between me and you as Esther, that is what we call interpersonal conflict. And it is always triggered by communication barriers and competing rules. When we communicate about something and then we don't understand each other, or there is a conflict between communication, the barriers of communication. We've talked about something and we have not understood each other. So as we try to sort issues, there will be this conflict. I'll be like, why is it Esther is not doing what we agreed on? And maybe you never understood what I said. You never understood the message I was putting across. This is what brings into interpersonal conflict. There's another type of conflict that we call intrapersonal conflict. This is the conflict that rises within yourself as a person.
Alright.
Yes, there's a conflict that happens within you. Like, you want to do this thing, but there's something in your mind telling you no. It's like there's a battle between you and your inner self.
Okay.
Have you ever had such a situation?
Yeah. I thought those kind of people are called indecisive people.
Yeah, in as much as we may call them so, it's a conflict within themselves. And this is always caused by things like self-doubt. If you don't believe in yourself. For example, you're given a task to perform, but because you don't trust yourself, because you have doubt, you'll be asking yourself, am I up to the task? Can I do it? As you juggle your mind between your ability to do the task that you've been given, so that self-doubt brings conflict within yourself. People who are so much stressed by the stresses of the situations of life, maybe the circumstances of life, this also can bring intra-conflict, the conflict between themselves, and even ethical dilemmas. There's something that an ethical group can say or can dictate, but then within yourself you're like, do I fit in this ethics? Do I fit in these rules or roles that are being pushed on me? So this is another cause of conflict. Another one is what we call intergroup conflict. Conflict that happened between 2 groups of people. Let's say there's group A and there's group B, and they're having conflict. Let me use like the people who love football. There are people who love Manchester,
Yes.
and there are people who love Arsenal. So there can be conflict between these 2 different groups. Another type of conflict is intra-group conflict. Intra-group conflict. This is something that rises between one group. Let's say, like, as we have used Manchester,
Yes.
within the team or within the group of Manchester,
Okay.
the members of this group, they have conflict within themselves. And also this is brought about by miscommunication, barriers of communication, power struggles, like there's somebody who wants to be the leader, there's somebody who feels whoever is reading them is not reading them well. That can cause this conflict. And non-compliance of rules. Every group or every society has a set of rules. If people don't comply to these rules, it can bring up to conflict. That is what we're going to talk about today, and let us meet again as we continue to learn about the causes of conflict and how to resolve conflict. Thank you.
See you in our next